I love putting costumes on my characters.
Hello! Now that they've had that wake-up call, welcome to the Tidbit Cast. My name is Gary, and this is...
Aaron.
And that is... Colm. And I'm Gary again. Remember that name. Gary Clark. I'll be seeing you. This is the Tidbit Cast, where each of our hosts bring a topic to talk about, whatever they'd like, depending on what they like. And this week we're going to go with who wants to go in this episode? Who wants to do a topic? Who? You? Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, okay.
You, sir.
Oh, professionalism.
In the front row.
Ah, the only row.
That's it. What was it? Aaron Wilson in the Tidbit Cast press pool.
Yes.
What's that to talk about?
Right. So the topic this week is
Come on to me, young boy.
Fallout 76 launched this week.
Yeah.
Successfully, I might add.
Somehow.
Well, didn't launch successfully.
Well, they had to break it early.
Oh my god, it's it does not seem to be working the best.
I'm, just to put in context, I'm the only person in this room who owns the game.
Yeah.
So, I have played the game, and in certain regards, it's not that bad.
It's not a piece of shit. However, for a game like that is released this year, it is not in any way up to scratch.
It's not a AAA game.
It is not a AAA game at all.
It's like a B- game at
I
best.
just want to say also, I think it's interesting that this came out as like a 60 game, like it's like a full AAA game.
Yeah.
And it's now discounted like, is it the week of? It's come out this week, was it?
21st, was it? No, it wasn't 21st. It was earlier than that. Last Friday, I think.
So it's been a week,
Yeah.
and that game, obviously because of sales, but at the same time that game's like 35, 36 now.
Yeah,
Right
like
now. That came out a week ago.
the issue with the game is okay. Yeah, there are issues, but the first issue I noticed was
Nice shoes.
it's so lonely.
Yeah. It's lonely in the wastelands.
Yeah. And it's not even a wasteland, it's a lush, verdant, green area.
Yeah.
There are wastelands all around you, but the fact that there's no NPCs is a very difficult thing to kind of get over. It's a very difficult thing to wrap your head around, the fact that your character has no personality.
No.
Your character has no personality. All they can do is emote. You can't even type in like a world chat or anything if you're looking for some loose springs or something. You can't even ask the world. You'd have to actually go up to someone, turn your mic on and go, "Do you have any loose springs?" Actually, I'll tell you my first experience.
So it's just party chat and like local chat.
Yeah, I'll tell you my first
Voice.
experience of getting into Fallout 76. I got out of the vault, I went down to the nearest village, and this guy invited me to a team. So I said, yeah, okay,
Yeah.
why not? When in Rome, I joined his team. I realised we weren't really doing the same stuff. I was going left, he was going right. So I was like, I'll leave this team. I left the team. And eventually I looped back around to this little hub that we had both met at. And he was at the hub. And he's like, "Hey man," he invited me to a team again. He's like, join my team. Hey man, turn your mic on. Hey motherfucker, turn your mic on. Motherfucker, why aren't you talking to me, man? Motherfucker. And I was like, this is not the experience I wanted. Imagine someone came up to you in the street and said, "Hey man, talk to me, motherfucker. Come on, speak to me, motherfucker. I want to talk to you. We're the only two people alive in the wasteland, motherfucker. Talk to me." Yeah.
It's too bad that their PK systems are doing well.
Yeah. It's. The whole issue with the player killer thing is someone can troll you by shooting you constantly, and it'll take like barely any health, like comically small amounts of health.
They could still kill you. But
They could if they committed to doing it for a very long time, but you could just hit a stim pack and you'd be fine. But they'd run out of ammo before they killed you. But it's just one of those things that if they annoy you enough, if they prod you enough, you could shoot them back, and then it's just full on PvP. But I once caught actually another interesting story from my time in Fallout 76. I built a house, a very nice house.
Oh, okay. Right.
I built a house.
Did you have a lawn?
Did I have a lol?
A lawn.
A lawn, no.
Less grass.
No, I did, and there was grass, but no.
It wasn't nice.
So I built a house, and
Porch.
of course I had a porch, Gary. I'm not a savage. I built a house, and
Good.
I came back to my house one day to find a man working at my workbench. I was not very impressed by this. So I entered my house. I promptly kept emojiing no. I made sure that he knew I did not want him in my house. So what I did was I locked him in my house. I put a level 3 lock on my door, locked him in the house to teach him a lesson, and then I kept opening the door and closing it to teach him that if he doesn't get out, he'll be locked in. So
It's like a fucking child.
he did not learn this lesson. He did not learn this lesson. So, in frustration, I gave him a short nudge with a little pipe pistol just to get him to go. He did not take this hint very well, so what he did was he went to my stash box, loaded up with all his guns, getting ready to kill me, shot me once, and I blew his head off with a shotgun, and took all his stuff. Get out of my house when I tell you to get out of my house.
Motherfucker.
Motherfucker. Okay, server issues.
Okay, that's what I've heard of the main things like that. It seems to be the biggest problems that are coming with it are the actual multiplayer aspects.
Yeah. I don't know how it works. I am not a tech genius. I don't know how it works, but I feel like the further you get away from people, the more laggy it gets. Like if everyone was just in one big group together going around the map, it'd be fine, but if you have one person at each corner of the map, excuse me, it feels very laggy. And I didn't get that. I didn't have that issue when I was in the middle of the map. Like I never had any like lag or anything like that. It was only when I started going further out. By the way, I managed to exploit the game and boosted myself to level 50 in like a day.
Well then, alright.
Yeah.
How?
If I tell you how, everyone will do it.
Pro tip.
Pro tip. There are certain grenade bouquets if you have a certain perk card that you can disarm. And once you disarm them, they don't disappear, so you can just keep mashing the square. And keep disarming them. You get like 25 experience per time you do it. And you get a grenade each time, so you know.
Sweet.
I got to like level 51 doing that. It's pretty cool.
Cool. I'm also going to say that from what I've heard, you know, the problems being a multiplayer game. People aren't happy with that. I wanted, because you said about the NPCs, I've also heard there's kind of, it feels like they haven't hashed that out fully.
Yeah, they backed themselves into a corner and then they got around it by having loads of robots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So all of your vendors are just robots.
There is a robot in it called Rosie, who is a raider. It's a Mr. Handy that has the voice.
I've seen this actually, yeah.
It's a Mr. Handy that has the voice of this like 13-year-old girl that swears at you and like tells you to go fuck shit up, and you're like, when you're getting up to her because she's in a locked room, and you're like, oh my god, maybe there's actually a person in this room. You open the door and you're like, I should have seen this coming. There's a Mr. Handy in here. She has a bottle stuck into her head to make it look like she's drinking. Right? This is
Sounds like Tiny Tina, Borderlands 2.
It's like it's
Alright.
And then it's also, I've heard, do you know like during, when missions pop up, like events, shit like that you hear like a voice recording just saying like, hey, come help, and it's like, it sounds like it's happening live.
Yeah.
Like this is like, I'm being attacked, and then you get there, it's a skeleton. Every single time.
not always a skeleton.
Not always a skeleton, but usually it's that.
Sodomized corpse.
With this very convenient place audio log in like right beside the skeleton.
I died leaving this on. Yeah, the whole thing with the faction called the Responders, who were basically just people who banded together to help other people. You find yourself following in their path, their footsteps. So you're getting trained as a responder by all these tapes because they didn't have time to train you in. And obviously they've all been killed by the Scorched. I think they're just called the Scorched.
Yeah.
They've all been killed by them, wiped out completely. But you're still doing all these actions because you're on their trail. You're seeing where they went and what they did.
Yeah.
I mean, I know I'm never going to run into one of them.
Yeah.
So I mean, that doesn't matter. But then the fact that they also mentioned that there's the Brotherhood of Steel in the game, and I'm like, If they're in the game, they're living, breathing people in power armor. Like,
What it seems like also is that they kind of missed an opportunity. And I imagine at some point they're thinking about this, but when I think of Fallout 4, like the last Fallout game, I think, apart from Fallout Shelter, of course, wink wink, but when I think of Fallout 4, like the big thing about that game was factions.
yeah.
Factions are a huge part of that, especially Bethesda. There's guilds, factions, and it seems like in this one there was a very obvious thing of like responders.
What I would have liked to
versus the
see,
Brotherhood of Steel.
what I would have liked to see is if there were NPCs, and if someone killed them, it was only dead for them. So there was like, if you kill this NPC,
You're fucked.
you're not just trolling. You're just like, you kill this NPC. That
Yeah, but that kind of goes against what they're trying to do with this game, with like the whole idea of like nukes and it being like entire world that's being shared. And so when you're in the server, this happens, but you
can always just jump. Okay, then
Yeah.
you can always just jump server to a server where
Yeah.
some troll hasn't killed it.
Yeah, exactly. You could do that, but I don't think they do it in the same one. But I do understand where you're coming from, but I think that would have to be like a server by server.
Because I have a very annoying glitch at the moment.
Yeah.
There's a mission. It's a very simple mission.
Glitches?
Yes,
It's
glitches.
running on the same engine as Fallout 4, which wasn't fucking done then either.
It's running on the same engine that Morrowind was on.
This is also what the next Elder Scrolls is going to be run on, isn't it?
Probably.
That's what. Yeah.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Except it's really fucking broke.
If it is broke, get the community to fix it.
That's what they did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, as I was saying, I ran into a glitch, and I don't know if it's actually a glitch or if it's just an unfortunate circumstance of the world. There's a very simple mission called Kill Evan. You have to kill Evan. Every time I go to kill him, he's already dead, and I can't progress the story because I can't kill him. So.
Is that the mission everyone is on about where they just released the patch to fix it? They said it's one of the earliest missions in the game. However, you literally could not finish the mission. It just wasn't possible to do it without giving like spoilers or anything everywhere I'd read. So was it that? Is it possibly that, or by you physically can't finish it?
Might be, because I physically can't finish it.
Yeah.
Dude, basically your first quest in the game is just to follow the Overseer's journey. And at some point I ended up at a giant mining facility. And I was just told the Overseer's, I don't care about spoilers. The Overseer, it's not a really, if you're looking for spoilers in Fallout 76, like, so the Overseer's fiance wasn't allowed into the vault. So he ended up working in the mines, and he eventually became scorched. And she saw him down in a room, and she locked him in the room because she couldn't kill him. And she's like, if you do see him, please kill him, because she leaves holotapes for you. And so I went down there. I was like, okay, right, I'll go kill him. And he was already dead. Door was open. He was already dead. Someone had killed him, and so the map marker's still there. I can't kill what is already dead, so I can't finish that mission. That's not really a main mission. Like, I don't know if that stops the story. It was just a request you made. I'd like the experience from this request.
That's pretty annoying.
Yeah. And every time I log in, the first thing I do is go check if I can kill him. Just to see if maybe on this world he's still alive.
You pesky Evan.
Okay. Do you think they're ever going to give you a chance? Are you going to just move over to another server and start?
No, it's not server, but it's every time I load in, I'm in a different server.
Okay, so
I could probably server hop for like an hour and find one where he isn't, but I think each of these worlds, like, it never ends. Like, it's, and I always run into Irish people in the game, so there's obviously an Ireland server, like, constant. All these Irish rogue, Irish something Irish boy 69, like, you know, that's all I ever run into. So, except for that one guy, the first person I met, motherfucker. He might have been Irish. He seemed like a dickhead to me.
Could have been Irish then.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's my impression of Fallout 76. I boosted myself to level 51. It's okay. It's one of those games you can pick up and play, and you don't really have to think about it. The combat is very cruel when it gets later on in the game. Very fucking cruel.
The VAT system looks shocking.
It's not like... It's kind of like an auto... It's kind of like an aimbot. Where you know your shot's going to hit. Like, and that's okay. Especially with things like shotguns or enemies that get literally in your face and are like melee attacking you. because you can't. It's so frustrating to hit with your gun unless it's an automatic gun. So with those regards, it's really handy. It's really handy for, but long shots pointless. I mean, just aim and fucking shoot them. It doesn't stop time, so it doesn't really help there. It does. You can't even use it to see if there are enemies around.
Is the idea of a long shot actually decent? Because everything I've seen with the AI is also quite horrible.
Yeah, they kind of just shuffle side to side and and sometimes they'll just run off on you.
Mm-hmm.
But then when they run off, it might be actually that they're really smart, because when they run off on me, they come back with a big group of them.
Oh, that's awesome.
Then that's just shit. And I get my ass handed to me.
So
I have full power armor, and I'm coming up against enemies that I know I could wipe the floor with if I had someone else helping me. But if it's just me, it's just so tedious killing enemies, and I'm just like, oh, you're doing barely any damage, but I'm gonna die anyway, because I'm gonna run out of stim packs eventually.
I've also heard with the whole VAT system that the VAT, like when you're using VATs, it's also the same as your stamina.
Yeah, but it always has been.
No, but like for example, when you run out of, like now if you're over encumbered, it now slowly drains down your stamina.
Yeah.
As you're moving.
Yeah.
Which was not. Really
That was it was a perk in Fallout 4.
Beforehand, it was just that what would happen was you weren't able to fast travel. Now it's
No. In Fallout 4, you had to walk if you're over encumbered.
And Fallout 3, because that was the reason I couldn't do it. I didn't when Fallout 3 first came out and I played over at a friend's house, I couldn't wrap my head around the whole fucking thing. I never played a fucking RPG at all.
Fast travel and that.
I don't know why, I just walked by, picked up everything.
Yeah, well, that's what you do. I am a crow in games. But I pick up everything.
And the Fallout 4, that game, especially because of the base building in that game, dear God. I remember I'd go to a place, I'll destroy it, and almost every mission, I would have to double take. So I would get everything, I'll put it into one chest, and then I'd have to fast travel over to the thing, I'd go out of the cave, go up, fast travel to a place, put all of it in there, go back, and go back down through the cave again, go to the chest where I had all my stuff, and then went back up. And
the thing in Fallout 76 is you can always just cheat it by building your base beside you. So you can go into the wilderness, just say, okay, I don't have to go back to my base, I can just put my base here, pay a bit of caps, do that. Because fast traveling in that game, unless you're going to Fallout 76 or you're going to a base you own or your own camp, you have to pay caps depending on the distance. So, which is okay, I suppose. I mean, it's kind of risk reward. Although it does mean that if you place your camp in the right place, you can kind of bunny hop to places for relatively cheap, which is pretty cool. But it's an okay game. It's a pick up and play game for it's like you can play it for like half an hour and then you get bored. I've never played it for any longer than 2 hours. Ever. And normally I'm the kind of person that if I sit down to play a game, I'm going to play that game for the rest of the day. Or until I have to do something. But no, I have to turn it off after about 2 hours. Because I'm just like, well, that quest seems like a lot of hassle. That quest I can't complete. This quest, it's ages away and I don't have to pay caps to get to it. Okay, yeah. And then I'm just
no polish.
Yeah. It's Fallout 4, but with a very poorly thrown together multiplayer.
And Fallout 4 had its fucking issues as well. They didn't fix any.
Yeah.
The thing I also wanted to talk about, because I wasn't entirely sure whether we're doing this topic, because I was thinking of playing Elder Scrolls Online in the lead up to this. Because what I've heard, because it's surprising that they don't seem to have learned from Elder Scrolls Online with doing Fallout 76.
Elder Scrolls Online was made by ZeniMax. This was made by Bethesda. Bethesda only oversaw, I know loads about online, but ZeniMax Studios made Elder Scrolls Online.
Yeah.
Bethesda, they're completely different game engines, completely different.
Yeah, and then, because the thing was with, and it may take some time because the same thing happened with Elder Scrolls Online.
It was shocking.
When it first came out, when it first launched, it had the same thing of a lot of people complaining about this game, and it was more of an MMO feel as well. And over time, they changed it to where it felt more like an Elder Scrolls. It felt more like this. And
at this point, you can start.
Compelling package now.
You can start a new game, and you can just you don't have as many choices as you'd have in a normal Bethesda game. But you do kind of feel like, I want to go there. Actually, do you know what? I'd love to see what the Alakir Desert looks like. I'd actually really like to go see where the High Elves are from, you know? So I'm going to go there. I'll go there. Maybe I'll help out some people there. Really cool. And some of the quests are pretty funny. There are other, like, if you like doing something, you can go do it. Like, you can literally... I've been in guilds with people who all they do on the game is go fishing. They go to lift because fishing is very difficult. Fishing is very difficult, because they knew from games like RuneScape, where fishing is actually very popular in the game, that it's very not difficult. It's not like it's a mini game or anything. It's just you have to use certain bait at certain times of the day and certain things to catch rare fish, and it's one of those things. I never touched it, but there are other people that just love to do that. And then there are people like me who basically play it because when I get into my topic, I'll talk about this, but cosmetics, and I love putting costumes on my characters, you know, looking a certain way, looking unique to people. They're like it's an MMO, but at the start it used to be very unpolished in regards to you pick a faction, you have to stick to those 3 areas. You pick a faction, you have to stick to those 3 areas. There were quests that couldn't be completed because there were so many people completing them that I broke the quest. The servers were very slow at times, couldn't get in. General issues that are normally happen with an MMO at the start. And it's taken them 3 years to polish it. But it is such a good game now. And they're releasing content so quickly for the game as well.
Also free PS Now.
Yeah.
PS Now, yeah. So say as an example, I have PS Now. If I was to go home and install that, would I just be able to jump right into it?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
So because you have PS Now, you can play that.
Tamriel things. Yeah. Sorry,
the only thing you won't have is there are certain unlocks that you get for just having Plus. I think it's something to do with like races, picking your factions, things like that. There are certain things that are locked behind a paywall of subscription, because subscription is how they get their money on PC. So that never really transfers over well to PlayStation 4. But yeah, Elder Scrolls Online, it's one of the better MMOs out there at the moment. It's better than Star Wars anyway, which I played as well. But it's completely different to 76 in regards to their approach to it.
Yeah, they monetize it differently, the network is set up a different way and stuff like that. I just thought that kind of in the background they had some idea of how to do this with having another property that was online. Yes, it's a different kind of developer working with it, but like by proxy, like by being in that background.
It would mean essentially it would mean them essentially making a completely different game. They didn't want to do that. They just wanted... It's clear that they just wanted to make Fallout 4, but with a few multiplayer aspects.
It's a multiplayer mod, essentially.
Yeah. They said, well, it won't work in that map there. There are a lot of reasons why it won't work in that map, so we'll just build a new map. A big map that's full of stuff, but is still empty. You know?
And a lot of people also like kind of theorizing that maybe this is a run-up to what Starfield might be like.
No, it couldn't be. That'd be terrible.
By that I mean just in terms of trying to get the idea of...
Well, like this is an alpha for Starfield.
Not an alpha, but like the idea of using online in this way.
They should look more at Elder Scrolls Online than they should at that, because they're really they're missing the ball in 76. I play as
76. It from what I've seen, it seems like it's a single player game with other people there.
Yeah, with other people just inconveniencing you.
But there isn't a huge amount to do, content-wise.
Yeah, you just find yourself hopping around doing events and going, oh, well, okay, I'll do this quest because I'm close to it. But
and if you can imagine if they do something slightly similar with Starfield, because I don't know what Starfield is, of course, but I imagine they're probably going to go more down the route of how Fallout feels than how Skyrim or the Elder Scrolls feels.
Yeah.
Because, being in the future and having that technology and stuff like that, it's probably going to be what the draw of the combat and stuff like that is going to be. So I can imagine them using this as a way to kind of be like, let's try and figure this out.
But it just doesn't work.
To get a feel for multiplayer.
The multiplayer, it doesn't work. I'd play that game. I'd play 76 offline if I could. I'd play it on my own little server.
Yeah.
Happily. I think 90% of people who have it would say, yeah, I'd play that offline. Or I'd play it in private servers. Yeah. But they were like, no, we want this to be an experience, a unique experience for every person playing the game. Anthem is going to be like that.
That's the one that comes to my head straight away when I think of this huge
world
that's
I
shared.
hope Anthem learn from this game. Insofar as I hope they look at the game and say, "Geez, that was terrible, and we were going to do something like that." No, we have to change something.
They can't.
Yeah, they've time.
The game comes out in
February.
Yeah, it's February, but that's
They've
like,
time.
that's like 2 months, 2.5
That's
months.
in game world. That's enough time to say day one patch. You know.
Yeah.
Day one patches are.
They're not going to change
evil.
something huge.
No, they're
They're
not.
not going to.
No.
That's how
They
we.
could try to adapt though.
Yeah, as in if they could see like okay.
That's how we get stuff like Andromeda.
Yeah.
True.
That's how that happens.
Well,
You don't try and change the vision of it. That's like how we get stuff like, I don't know, Silent Hill 3. But that stuff, it don't change the vision too much. Because if you do, it becomes more complicated, and then it means that other people are working off different frameworks. And then it's like, oh, this got, wires got crossed, and we weren't entirely sure, we were told to do this, but then we did this, and it's, yeah, this is too late by this point. What they're doing is what they're doing, and now they're just like, because they've also said, I think it was like a month ago, they had played through the entire thing. And the same thing happened for another game, what was it? Death Stranding. They did the same thing. This is a kind of side thing.
Do you realise that like games only have to be finished about a month before their actually release date? So
like at this point,
because it's still it could easily be an alpha at this point.
we never know about like because other games are different, because Anthem said like I'd say within like the last 2 months that they had finished the game, and now and like the main things they are past like alpha and a half. They were like past that, and now they can like play the game, and now they're just adding on to that.
And polishing it,
yeah. Kojima has said recently that he has done the same thing. He has played through the entire game.
Well,
but that also doesn't mean that, oh, are the like designs there, or are they all stick figures?
The difference is like in those games compared to 76, you can play through the entire game. 76, how could you play through that entire game? It's just
It's also
there's nothing
because
to do. It's not that there's nothing to do. There's no coherent.
there's no beginning, middle, and end.
these are also continuing experiences with like because the difference between those two games with how they're set up. Like if we're just taking the Anthem and the Death Stranding as an example, is that Death Stranding is a very we don't know what the fuck it is.
No, we don't.
But it's going to be a very contained thing if it's what Kojima usually does, which is that it's a very contained thing. It's a story, very deliberate. Everything is there.
A lot
and
of
has its
cutscenes.
own lore. Everything is so exact.
Maybe some gameplay.
Everything is so like exact in.
What was Metal Gear Solid 4?
Metal
Like
Gear Solid
5 hours of cutscene.
Dear God, I remember I played the games, Metal Gear games, so it was like before I was 10. That was my first time really being exposed to a Metal Gear game and playing it the whole way through. Dear God, I thought that's what every game was like.
You take 4 steps cutscene.
Yeah, no, every few steps there's a cutscene, but I have no idea who this person is, but it sounds important.
Yeah.
And that was my exposure to my memory of Metal Gear is Metal Gear Solid 4.
Yeah.
It was so jarring, and I loved it. And I had to know more, and then I just like read the databases of everything.
And I have to go back and actually do it yourself.
Yeah, I have to do it myself to learn it. But like that's the thing where it's like everything's so exact, has its own lore, has its own reasons and directions.
Oh, I know. We're getting off time.
I'm gonna finish.
No.
I'm gonna finish what I'm saying.
No.
Anthem is a continuing games as a service, so it's different. They don't have to fully complete the game because they're imagining this game as a growing game. Death Stranding, we don't know what it's going to be, but it's going to be so exact and deliberate in what it's doing, and it may have some other stuff because we never know what Kojima's going to do. We never know what he's going to do. But what I'm saying is...
Well, speaking of Kojima...
there we go. Segue.
So Metal Gear Solid is on the PlayStation, and you said it wouldn't be.
Yeah, it's on it.
Oh.
I said that it was very unlikely, yeah.
Sorry, I just wanted to rub some salt in.
Yeah, I didn't think it was going to be there because...
it was like one of the biggest selling games on it.
Yeah, it was like number 8.
Yeah.
It was like the... I don't know why I know that.
He probably doesn't.
Someone look it up and get back to us. Leave a comment below.
Guess what the top selling game on PlayStation was?
No.
PlayStation 1. What's the top selling game?
Croc.
Bubsy.
Crash Bandicoot 1.
Yeah. Still, I don't think too much platforming.
Oh,
bullshit.
Platforming.
Ah.
I think it needs to be less platformer heavy, and I would like it a bit more. Like if this focused more on the story.
These are Gary's honest opinions, and these are in no way a joke.
When we were talking about like the likes of like finished products now, you say the fact that like games as a service.
Likes of which?
Games as a service there, as you're saying with like Anthem. Anthem doesn't need to be finished right now, you're saying. But look at everything that has come out this year that has come out on top is everything that was finished well beforehand and just polished.
Oh, by that I mean that the world is going to be continuing.
Yeah, I know.
There will be expansions and
but
for example, filling out worlds. Like for example, with Death Stranding, or with just a single player experience, they have all of that done, and then they ship the game. With the multiplayer, they can have the framework, they can have all of the map and stuff like that done, and all the details are done. And then as the game continues to just go, now in that one place that was like a valley, we've added a monster there, and so they can change that over time. Is what I mean.
Speaking of which, that just to throw that in there, then Resident Evil 2, it's been finished since August.
Yeah.
So, polished game.
That's what they're saying, is that they're like, no, we finished it in August. Everything we're doing now is just extra polish.
Polish.
That's
I love the whole game is just really shiny.
Oh, I'm gonna fucking like explode if it is like that. You can't do that to me.
Yeah, we really polished this game.
It is going to be shiny. Ever since Resident Evil 5, every one of those games is shiny as hell. No, like, seriously, you know, Aaron. Like
the gloss.
Resident Evil 5. Like, do you remember like the liquid like monsters?
Oh, yeah.
Like they were dudes, shiny. Everything was so shiny, and then you had Resident Evil 7.
Resident Evil 6, everything was purple and everything was fucking like there was bright colours and everything. You changed your reticle, you changed the laser sight to be bright fucking green if you want. Everything will be bright and colourful.
Like the last like 3 Resident Evil games, everything is just reflection. Like they got that slider to put up the 100 on everything. Everything is shiny.
But it works for 7 though, because everything that looks shiny in 7 is fucking stunning.
Everything is so detailed.
It's so beautiful.
I played that game in VR.
Oh, I couldn't do it.
It was terrifying.
Yeah, I imagine. I'd say Mia coming up the stairs just beginning.
Oh,
that would fuck with me.
The worst one was do you know when you actually have to fight her in the room?
Marguerite.
Your friend.
Mia.
Yeah, you have to fight her in the room, or like you
Your
got
wife.
Or when you get. I only played a little bit of it, but when you get down the stairs,
that's the thing. Yeah, and she comes crawling.
Yeah. Or the one where like you don't know she's there and you turn to the side and she's suddenly right in front of you. You're like, oh shit!
Yeah.
And she stabs you in the hand and you're like, what do I do?
Yeah. Well, stabs in the hand was a screwdriver to the wall.
Yeah.
And then comes out with a chainsaw. You're like,
oh no! The worst thing is in VR getting fed your dinner.
Oh, I suppose, yeah. Oh. And they start going at you with a fucking knife down in your mouth as well.
Yeah.
Oh, to pry you open. Oh no, it's just. Resident Evil 7's a great game.
But I wouldn't play it.
Resident 7, a great game. And that will conclude our Fallout 76
yes, it will indeed.
episode of the podcast, so you can see how obviously interested we are in that game.
Yeah.
And this has been the Tidbit Cast. I was Gary, I believe, and this was
Aaron.
He believes, and this was
I believe I'm Colm.
I believe, oh I believe.
We're gonna have to pay for rights to do that.
I believe in heaven. If I don't do 7 seconds, we're good. Right, that's the rule, isn't it? That's the rule, isn't it? I'd have to
Do the Spring Awakening.
What?
The Spring Awakening?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you did that. The first thing I got to was Book of Mormon.
This has been the Tidbit Cast. And if you would like to follow us on social media, you can find us on Facebook and Instagram at TidbitCast. And you can look at our email.
Look at our emails.
Look at it. It'll be written there as...
It's right there. It is right there.
as tidbitonline@gmail.com, that is.
Talk to Tidbit
Talk to Tidbit.
Damn it, Gary.
Damn it. Talk to Tidbit@gmail.
Say Tidbit online.
Talk to Tidbit@gmail.com.
Talk to Tidbit@gmail.com.
Talk to Tidbit@gmail.com.
Yeah. And
Tidbit online.
Tidbit online. And you can obviously just find us on most audio and most audio platforms as Tidbitcast and music platforms.
Oh, you're killing it, Gary.
That's what you're listening to us on.
Tidbit online.
You're on a podcasting platform, right? You can just Tidbitcast, look for it. And we're on YouTube, support us on YouTube because of this very polished and very, 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 very thankful cast.
Fuck you. Fuck you. You just tried to make a Thanksgiving joke.
Motherfucker. See you later. Motherfucker.